Good evening and welcome to Have I Got News For You? I'm Des Lynam. In the news this week, government scientists admit that genetically modified crops may be able to travel further than previously thought. At the Optician of the Year Awards, the man who had pioneering laser eye surgery insists on thanking the surgeon personally. And in a live interview from his home in Scotland, Robin Cook demands that Tony Blair take his warnings over Iraq seriously. With Paul Merton tonight, who's a writer and comedian who once starred in a show called 15 Minutes of Misery. So let's see how he copes with the full half hour. Please welcome Sean Locke. And on Ian Hislop's team is a journalist and broadcaster who was a regular stand-in for Robert Kilroy Silk on his talk show, although, luckily, she was never asked to do this.
Their fate will be in each other's hands as they decide whether to share or to shaft.
Please welcome Kaye Adams. We start with round one. Paul and Sean, have a look at this.
OK, obviously there's the two leaders of the free world, Tony Blair, George Bush, and there's Michael Howard. So, this is about the American election. Is it about Michael Howard refusing to congratulate George Bush on winning the election?
Yes.
I imagine Tony and George will go into a room, very quiet on their own, and just go... How did you get away with that? How did you do it?
And can Tony do it as well?
Yeah. Well, Tony's got a problem because America has a huge religious right, which we don't have here. Like, 2% of people go to church in this country.
And they're priests.
Yeah. But apparently it's all the religious people that came out to vote. It was the religious people that came out to vote for George Bush that won it for him.
Do you think Blair's going to do a few deals while he's over there?
Well, I imagine he's gone over there to talk about the war on terror, because George Bush can't say terror, can he?
Somebody's ours.
Yeah, so you should talk about terror. But also, I think Tony Blair should ask for the photos back. He should ask for them photos. Because the only thing I can understand that can explain Tony Blair's complete allegiance with George Bush is dirty pictures. Like him in a barrel with an otter and some swordfeeder, surrounded by submariners.
Yeah, definitely.
Progress on the Middle East? Do you think that'll be part of the...
Progress would be Bush knowing where the Middle East was.
Yeah.
And caring.
What happens every time Blair has his photo taken with Bush?
They end up having casual sex over a couple of pizzas. When I say over a couple of pizzas, I mean they have the pizza.
His popularity takes an absolute nosedive.
Does it?
Did you
Blair's?
know that?
Blair's.
Blair's, because of pictures like this. And this.
You wonder what they've got to laugh about.
Indeed.
They look like they're shopping for rings.
Yeah. And there's this one.
Oh.
You said it was a twin room. Yeah. You saucy beast.
This is Tony Blair's Bush visit. On Breakfast with France, former President George Bush Sr. said, "My son is the first US president to say he'd like to see a Palestinian homeland," adding, "and he's told me they can have Fallujah when he's finished with it." The Republican election victory has once again given the Kansas School Board a Conservative majority. According to The Independent, the board wants to change the science curriculum that currently teaches Darwin's theory of evolution. And you can see why some Republicans would want to keep that theory quiet. Ian and Kaye, see what you make of this.
There's Mandy.
There's Gordy.
Yes. Staring at who?
Oh, out the window. There's Archie.
Yes.
There's Horny.
That must be Boris Johnson's PR manager.
Oh, is that Boris in an amusing hat?
Was it?
No, I don't think so.
know.
No, we didn't have the shafted blonde hair, so to go back to shafting days.
Yes, particularly mentioning Boris and shafting in this week. It's very poor taste.
This was about Peter Mandelson's... Sorry, Peter Mandelson's first speech at the CBI conference.
You're absolutely right, Des, it was.
What was the gist of his speech?
That's very good, yeah. Peter Mandelson, being now a mature and responsible statesman, decided to use the conference to have a dig at Brown. And he said, "We shouldn't gloat about our economy. Brackets, you're not that great, Gordon." Huh.
How did Gordon react?
Well, he gave a responsible speech saying, "Actually, the economy's great and I'm going to take over."
And what other Mandelson story is going to bring a smile to Brown's lips, do you think, this week?
He's in a threesome with Tony and George.
There's another one.
Yeah.
There's an attempt to link him with Archer and all that Equatorial Guinea coup story. Is that what you're looking for?
That is, yes, quite right. After Jeffrey Archer was implicated, we all thought it couldn't have happened to a more deserving bloke. How wrong could we be?
Well, Peter Mandelson is a great friend of Eli Khalil.
Khalil, yes.
And Mandelson stayed in this businessman's house. And Eli Khalil was the man they called Smelly in the coup.
We have to point out that Mandelson has denied any involvement, of course.
I'm sure he has, and quite rightly.
Quite rightly. And Jeffrey's still protesting his innocence, according to the Times. Archer has issued a strenuous denial. Good as a signed confession, really, I would have thought.
Now, what is a strenuous denial? Is it like, no! Nothing to do with me!
What did the MI5 chief have to say at the CBI this week?
Shh. I'm not here.
We're all growing complacent because we haven't had a terrorist attack, she said. Are you interested to see how ITV portrayed the lady, Eliza Manningham-Buller?
Absolutely.
Like to see that? Yes.
Yeah.
Fascinated.
She's one of the most important security officials in the country, but she prefers to remain anonymous. So we've used this actress to recreate Eliza Manningham-Buller's address to the CBI today.
Vincent.
Do you want to see how the BBC approached the subject?
Yes, please.
Here we go.
Today we were given a rare glimpse of the most powerful woman in British intelligence.
I go for the ITV way.
At the CBI conference this week, it was claimed that there would be no unskilled jobs left in Britain in 10 years. Does that mean Dixon's is going to close? Michael Grade also gave a speech to the CBI this week where the BBC was criticised for portraying Matt Crawford, the only businessman in the Archers, as a crook. Amazing, a programme full of people called Archer, and they make someone else the crook. And so to round two, Ian and Kaye, what's this all about? Hello, 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 I'm on the mobile.
There's a female Labour politician, I can't remember who it was, but said that everyone should be able to contact the local policeman by mobile.
That's
Is that
it,
right?
more or less it, yeah. What's the new policing initiative being called?
118, 118?
It's actually called the 10 Commitments,
That's snappy.
isn't it? And how are victims of crime now to be known to the police?
Customers?
Yes.
Oh, no.
What that makes the criminals, I'm not quite sure.
Clients?
No, maybe contractors. And do you know what the latest type of crime grabbing the headlines is this week?
Is it theft of policemen's mobile phones?
Yeah, they're wasting time. One of the ways to cut crime is to ban hooded tops. The only reason to wear a hooded top is if you are some kind of shifty, suspicious thief in tow rag.
I think you can take it further than that as well. You see these guys who are arrested for serious crimes, they're always walking around with blankets over their heads.
Yeah.
Find them before they commit the crime. Walking around with blankets on their head, nick them.
The crime is skimming, actually.
Skimming?
Oh, skimming, yeah.
Oh, the credit card thing.
That's it.
Is it? Yeah, they're
Yeah.
putting all sorts of different devices on your cash point thing that they can get your numbers.
Do you know how much was stolen by this skimming method last year?
A lot.
Correct.
Thank you.
Was it £93?
I like to be accurate.
£61 million.
Oh, I was nearly there.
Only came to light when Victoria Beckham checked her statement.
She should do more of that checking her statement. She might find out a few things. Come on.
This is the government's new proposals to make the police service more efficient and accountable. One of David Blunkett's proposals stated that new recruits from outside will now be able to join at a more senior level than before. So a bit like coming straight onto this show as host. There's been an outcry this week after inmates were allowed to hold a party with their families at Ford Open Prison. According to the Daily Star, one of the attractions at the party was a bouncy castle. You're ahead of me. And when it arrived, inmates told the lorry driver, just stick it over there, mate, next to the fence. Paul and Sean, how much are those doggles in the window?
Some vets have come up with this marvellous scheme. For dogs who need to have their eyes tested, they've got this test, and if your dog needs glasses, they will provide your dog with glasses. I mean, how you can tell that your dog needs glasses, I don't know. Yeah. Holds the Guardian at paw's length. Can't like read it, I don't know. What do you reckon?
Or you chuck a stick and it comes back with a pensioner's leg.
Yeah.
Would you like to have a look at a dog modelling them?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't, actually.
Oh, well, funny enough, you're going to.
They're fantastic. They make all dogs look like Alan Clark. Hello.
Not only chase cars, but when they get there, they can do a bit of welding as well. Here's another doggy with glasses on.
Is that Jack Nicholson's dog?
It's a Blues Brother dog.
They'd be very good at cleaning them, wouldn't they? Like...
How can they tell that the dog needs glasses? How can they tell?
It's a very simple test. The dog goes to the opticians, WOOF. Which, if they can't do it, glasses.
Yeah.
What have they also tried out but scrapped?
Laser surgery. Does that not work on dogs?
No, that's not what I'm thinking of.
How on earth will we know what you're thinking of? I mean, if it's in the news, we've got a chance, but what you're thinking of...
You wouldn't want to know what I'm thinking of.
You might be thinking of Mary Peters eating a jam sandwich. I've no idea.
I'm thinking of contact lenses.
Well, I wouldn't have told that from your face. Hearing aids for cats, that's the next thing.
Neck braces for woodpeckers.
Yes. Very popular. Very popular.
So this is the latest innovation for dogs with failing eyesight, a pair of spectacles or doggles. Incidentally, if you've never seen a dog have its eyes tested, it has to read something like this.
They've done Ian's joke, but Ian's was better. Because they've paid for somebody to do that, they'll cut your one out and we're stuck with that.
You can guarantee it. Getting their vision back can come as a bit of a shock to some of the dogs. Blimey, so that's what I've been sniffing all this time. Kaye, how about get your coat, Gran, you've pulled?
Esther Ranson springs to mind.
This is not one of your chat-up lines, is it, Des?
Could be.
Is it about older women enjoying a hectic lifestyle? Is it a survey?
It is.
There's 3 people they've asked in the office saying, do you think older women are having a really interesting life? And they're all going, yeah, probably, yeah, so. Get your coat, Gran, you've pulled.
What?
Apparently you can't stop them. Older women, look at you all, you're just at it all the time.
If it were to be true, what would be the main reason for it, Kaye, do you think?
Oh, I think you could answer that, Des, better than me.
Well, I will answer it.
But you might be the main reason.
I will answer it. It's the increasing divorce rate. So they're out in the marketplace.
Yeah, get on there, girl.
I have heard that sex with grandmothers is fantastic.
Where did you hear that, Sean?
Well, it was in a periodical I found in the woods. But it's supposed to be fantastic because it could be their last one, so they really go for it.
And as a man, does that really motivate you, Sean? Does it?
Not yet.
Which other social group has been identified by the tabloids this week?
Ben Jones.
Correct.
Because this is all part of the same thing, isn't it? It's not really about Bridget Jones or the movies out this weekend and stuff. It's about their mothers, which is this story here, and also it's young guys in their late 30s.
All
Are
lonely.
young guys in their late 30s? Is that an oxymoron?
Yeah, they are from where I'm looking at it, yeah.
Sure, okay.
Young, single blokes with lots of money and no children who can just go out all the bloody time.
This is a report that highlights the explosion of 50-something women who are footloose and fancy-free. Hey, tell me something I don't know.
I could see you as Zorro, do you know that? Zorro. Yeah, the romantic lead with sword fight. Have you ever taken lessons?
Zorro the Gay Blade. Not terribly appropriate.
Never been accused of that. Yet. Now, according to the survey published in The Telegraph, 1 in 5 50-something women regularly go to bars and clubs in the hope of meeting a man. And that man is usually Wayne Rooney. Also this week, the National Office of Statistics revealed that the number of single men in their 30s has reached record levels. One long-term single man told The Observer, I would often catch myself sitting down on my own with a glass of red wine in front of the football. Don't knock it. One man's lonely night in is another man's viewing figure. Paul and Sean, you've got jet me to work on time.
Well, this again is the story which comes up with incredible frequency and is absolute nonsense. The idea being that sort of we'll all one day hail a plane in the centre of London which will take us to the countryside in 3 minutes. And this is what it'll be an air taxi is what they say. And they also say, you know, they also chuck in the thing, oh yeah, we'll all have our own jetpacks. It's never happened, and I'm disappointed. Yeah. Bitterly disappointed.
I'm looking forward to hover boots. They'll be the best.
Now, what are hover boots?
They're just, well, they're boots, they hover.
Really? How high do they hover?
I don't know, I've just thought of them.
Oh.
But,
I'm very disappointed. Oh, OK, yeah, I'm happy now.
Now, they're called jet pods this
time round. They are called jet pods, yes. Yeah.
And the idea that it's not only going to the country, it's you're going to get around London.
Do you want to see an artist's impression of...
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Ooh. Well, I can see that happening easily.
Yeah.
But if you can get to the country in 2 minutes, it'd be a good way of annoying people in the country, wouldn't it? Just keep visiting them every 2 minutes. Oh, and another thing. And then back again.
Anybody see the other new travel breakthrough in the papers this week?
Is it a horse that can swim underwater?
It is, sort of.
Is it? Yeah. Good. Oh, no, wait a minute. Yes, it's the dolphin. It's a mechanical dolphin that you can buy. That's just like a real dolphin. It goes under the water and it's the same speed as a dolphin, and this guy reckons that people are going to buy mechanical dolphins.
This is it?
yeah, where are you going to keep one of those dolphin things?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not
in
sort of
your
thing.
bath.
Yeah, it's not the sort of thing you can use, is it? Unless you own a sea.
You've come up with jetpacks in the past. Did you come up with this idea as well? You didn't?
No,
did you?
no, I think it's an extraordinary idea and it will never see the light of day.
Well, I saw a picture with you and a dolphin.
Yeah, a long time ago. What an identity parade that was. Was a bloke at the end, did it?
This is the new flying taxi called a jet pod. According to the manufacturers, the jet pod only needs a 400-foot stretch of land to take off from. So you can depart from Heathrow for the centre of London and look for the nearest 400-foot stretch of land, which happens to be at Heathrow. The jet pod... I'm enjoying myself here.
What are you doing?
According to the manufacturers, the jet pod will take you from London to Woking in only 4 minutes. The one disadvantage is it will take you from London to Woking in only 4 minutes. Which means at the end of this round, it's Ian and Kaye with 4, and Paul and Sean have 4. Round 3 is the odd one out round. Ian and Kaye, your 4 are Britney Spears, Silvio Berlusconi, Catherine Zeta-Jones and Ruud van Nistelrooy.
That's a good picture of Britney. She'll be happy with that one, won't she? Cruel.
Is this singing?
No.
Is it contraception?
It's not contraception. Shall I give you a clue?
Yeah, go on.
Yes.
It's something that footballers do quite often.
Is it getting married? Because she got married recently. Britney Spears got married, didn't she, in a tracksuit, which to suggest
Not
that...
much room in there for the guests?
Yeah.
Give us another clue
Another clue.
before
Here
they
it
get
comes.
it right. Go
Could
on.
be through the keyhole.
Keyhole surgery, keyhole surgery, keyhole surgery, heart trouble, keyhole surgery, heart trouble. I've got stuck.
It wouldn't have been a problem for John Silver.
Ah, they all own parrots.
Oh,
it's one leg.
Leg injuries. Leg injuries.
It's knees, actually. They've all had knee
Knees.
problems,
It was-
except
She doesn't
Catherine
go on her knees.
Zeta-Jones, who bought her granny some knees. Now, Ruud van Nistelrooy, do you remember him doing an injury to his knee? Shall we show you how he did it?
Yeah,
he was
please
in
do.
training at
Yeah.
the time. He was going well, and then suddenly...
Oh, blimey.
What most of us would call a really unfortunate accident, Alex Ferguson would call a cast-iron penalty. Do you know what the ramifications were of that injury to Van Nistelrooy, Ian?
I think it was global warming, wasn't it? It was obviously something very important.
No, it stopped his transfer to Manchester United from...
A Dutch club.
Real... Edam.
Real Edam.
PSV Eindhoven. What's Catherine Zeta-Jones's granny's name?
Michael.
No, it's Zeta.
Jones.
Zeta-Jones.
Zeta, that's right.
Just Zeta-Jones.
Oh,
She's the one with the new knees.
She would
Yeah.
be, yeah.
Are they for her or just for her to have, to play with?
oh, for the family.
I'm so rich, I'll get you Mussolini's knees.
Yeah.
How did Catherine get the idea of buying Granny new knees for Christmas?
Well, probably from Michael. He's going to need them soon, isn't he?
Well, Catherine said we didn't know what to get her for Christmas until she said I could do with a new pair of knees. Or I could do with a new pair of knees.
That's a range of mountains, isn't it?
Do you know what effect the operation had on Granny, according to Catherine?
Yeah.
Transformed her life. She's out there with Esther Ranson clubbing it every weekend.
And she's like a little whippet now.
Told you.
You wearing doggles?
This isn't the only time Catherine has done something nice for an elderly relative. This morning she made her husband a cup of tea. Berlusconi was injured in a friendly game of football by a tackle from Tony Blair. As well as supporting Newcastle United, Tony Blair is a big Villa fan. Cliff Richards or Berlusconi's, as long as it's free, he's not fussed. Tony Blair gave the half-time team talk, but after recent events, no one believed him when he claimed their opponents could mount a serious attack in the next 45 minutes. Paul and Sean, Osama bin Laden, Miss Piggy, Cliff Richard and Donald Trump.
Donald looks like he's running out of a Cliff Richard gig.
Have they all been guest stars in the Muppets?
Give you a clue. The elk has a strong one.
Is this the sort of thing that spies say to each other? The seagull flies over Krakow tonight.
That's a trigger word for a hitman.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Shall I give you another clue?
Yeah.
How would you describe Mary Archer?
Fragrant. So
They've all
that
got
sense of
perfume.
smell. So Miss Piggy hasn't got a
Perfume.
sense of
They've all
smell.
got perfumes out.
Except...
Except.
Osama bin Laden.
Osama.
You're quite right.
Miss Piggy's is called apple sauce. Cliff's is called A Whiff of Cliff. And Trump's is called Money.
No, his is called I've Just Trumped.
You're right, they've all produced a scent apart from Osama bin Laden, whose brother has produced a scent, by the way. In 2001, his half-brother, Yeslam bin Laden, a Swiss-based entrepreneur, was going to bring out a bin Laden perfume until his brother rather spoilt things with 9/11. Yeslam bin Laden was interviewed by Time magazine recently. Do you know which searching question they asked him?
Where's your brother?
Is he always a bit moody? Fly off the handle, take things the wrong way.
They asked him, do you have trouble making reservations on hotels or planes? Do you know what Cliff's scent is called?
Is it Miss You?
Miss You Nights.
Miss You Nights.
Miss You Nights. Do you know when that was a hit, Paul? You're a top man on...
Ooh, not really. Cliff Richard. Was it a hit for Cliff? I suppose it was.
86.
Yeah. I say 85.
76.
Well, you idiot.
Do you know who Cliff tested it on, his perfume, that is?
Oh,
Sue Barker.
Sue Barker. Got to be Sue Barker, isn't it?
No, he tested it on Cilla Black and Joan Collins when they were on holiday in Barbados, being re-varnished.
That's quite a dangerous gag from someone with a tan like yours.
That's blood pressure. Do you know what Trump's perfume smells like? It's a blend of citrus and pepper with a hint of mint, cucumber and black basil. I had that at the Star of Bengal last night. The answer is they've all produced a scent apart from Osama bin Laden, whose brother has. Yeslam bin Laden claims his scent is a gentle message in a bottle for all who long for inner peace. Sod the perfume. If you want inner peace, shoot your brother. Besides Cliff, the market is currently saturated with perfumes endorsed by celebrities, including Celine Dion, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Naomi Campbell, J-Lo, Britney Spears, P. Diddy, Paris Hilton, Maria Sharapova. Far too many, when frankly there's only one perfume you need. Simply Des. Get it today. We finish, as always, on the missing words round. This week's guest publication is Amateur Wrestling News. Before you read it, you have to hold it down flat for a count of 3. So here we go with stealing manhole covers is a great what?
It's a great way to make money, because they're selling scrap metal, they're digging these manhole covers and smuggling them to China.
How'd you smuggle a manhole cover?
In a very round suitcase.
Yeah.
No, it's drain robbery.
Ah, very good.
According to the Evening Standard, there are several websites devoted to metal drain covers, although if I were you, I'd be very careful when typing the word manhole into your search engine.
Is it me, Des, or has the programme taken a lurch down mine?
Next, Panorama, we prefer what?
Bananarama.
Correct.
I thought that was just a bad joke.
Yeah.
Not too dirty for you, Ian, that one, was it? Thank God for
No,
that.
though I don't know where you're going with the bananas, Des. But,
Probably up somebody's rama.
No, is that not about
Well-
children in need?
It is.
And the 3 of the newsreaders, female newsreaders, are going to dress up as Panorama.
It's the story that newsreaders
you
are
dress
dressed...
up as Panorama.
Oh, sorry,
One of them does
Panorama.
Jeremy Paxton. I might watch that. Very good parody.
I think they always do this. I mean, the children needs, you know, good cause and everything, but these newsreaders, they can't wait, can they, to put on fishnet stockings, and the women are just as bad.
Next, have they got what for you?
Shoes.
No.
Zoos.
No.
Loos.
No.
Booze?
Cruise.
No, I'll tell you, it's fuse.
Fuse.
Yes. This is a study which has found that men watching female newsreaders tend to gawp at the presenter and don't listen to what's being said. Incidentally, ladies, if you didn't catch any of that, don't worry, it wasn't important. And finally, the last thing I remember, I was what?
Petrified. Kept thinking I could never live without you by my side. But then I spent so many nights thinking how you done me wrong, and I grew strong.
The answer is wrestling Danny DeVito when I woke up in hospital. Wrestler Bobby Douglas revealed how Danny DeVito almost put him in a coma. I had a similar experience after watching him in Twins. So the final scores are Paul and Sean have 6, Ian and Kaye have 8.
Oh.
On which note we say thank you to our panellists Ian Hislop and Kaye Adams, Paul Merton and Sean Locke. And I leave you with news that there's tragedy at the Ryman's factory as a worker falls into the ring-binding machine. In Boston, a newly recruited cycle courier enjoys his first day at work. And in Hyde Park, it's time for desperate measures for the man who accidentally posted his bacon sandwich. Good night.